Imagine this. You're out there on your porch, cradling that first cup of steaming coffee as the sun creeps over the horizon, feeling the crisp mountain air brush against your skin, when suddenly this woman in pristine athleisure wears storms up your driveway, flanked by a couple of awkward sidekicks, and slaps you with a demand for almost $5,000, claiming your peaceful retreat is tanking her fancy neighborhood's vibe. And the punchline is, my place was here long before hers ever existed, back in the late 80s, while her little kingdom didn't pop up until a decade ago, and there I was, caught in the middle of it all, the wind whispering through the tall grasses like it was in on the joke, holding my weathered deed in one hand and her flimsy ultimatum in the other, wondering how far someone would go to bend the world to their will. My name's Ethan Harlow, and this tale kicks off with what felt like the darkest chapter of my existence turning into the sharpest weapon I could have wielded, way back in 1988 when I was just a young electrician scraping together every dime to snag 2.5 acres of untamed Montana land for $50,000, pouring my soul into crafting this off-grid haven over the next 15 years, complete with wind turbines humming softly, a garage workshop brimming with green tech experiments, and sprawling gardens that could sustain a small village. And oh, how my wife Mia cherished every inch of it. We'd perch on that front deck each sunset, her hand in mine, dreaming up expansions we'd sketch on napkins, the kind of quiet dreams that make life feel infinite, until the cancer stole her away 3 years back, leaving me and my loyal mutt Spark, named for the sparks that once flew from my tools, to carry on her legacy in this sanctuary we'd built together, every board and bolt a testament to our love. The land hugs an old county lane, once flanked by endless meadows, but then about 6 years ago, some slick developer from the coast eyed our valley for upscale retreats, birthing Evergreen Heights, a sprawl of 400 polished homes with groomed greens, fake waterfalls, and folks shelling out nearly $1 million to live beside what they deemed my rustic relic. Yet the county docs made it crystal clear my plot was carved out from any such schemes, the initial surveyors planting markers labeled exempt around my edges. I've got snapshots, approvals, a trail of paperwork stretching back nearly 4 decades, but nobody clued in Sharon Blackwell, who rolled in from San Diego 3 years prior, smack in the midst of my grieving. At 48, a former property broker now reigning as Evergreen Heights HOA president, cruising in a gleaming silver Mercedes that shunned any speck of dust. With 4 kids in elite academies, a spouse running orthopedic clinics, and that special brew of privilege forged from a life of unchecked yes, this lady would eyeball lawns with a tape measure. Once lodging a grievance because a bin lingered curbside an hour too long, her overpowering citrus scent could wilt flowers from 10 paces. Our initial run-in seemed harmless, a bright grin, a casual salute. "Hello, neighbor. I'm Sharon from the association, just gauging interest in upgrades around here." But 3 days on, she returned with her enforcement squad, 2 fidgety fellows in collared tees looking like they'd rather be anywhere else, her stilettos grinding into my dirt path like declarations of war, declaring my turbines were slashing nearby home worth by $60,000 each, brandishing a hefty tome of rules, giving me a month to conform or rack up $100 daily penalties. And I fished out my 1988 title proving outright immunity from any future associations. But she skimmed it through those massive shades. Loopholes won't shield you indefinitely. This is for the greater good, values and harmony. Harmony from the outsider who plunked a subdivision around. Over, we'll see. And as she sauntered off, the scrape of stones beneath her fancy footwear echoed ominous, like a fuse igniting, a timer set in motion, and the following dawn confirmed my gut. Sharon dispatched us for infractions on turf predating their whole enclave. That's when it dawned on me. This wasn't mere nitpicking over aesthetics or tidiness. This was a grab for dominance, a coastal import who'd never faced defiance, picking on the wrong solitary soul to bully. Mia always teased I was bullheaded beyond reason. Time to channel that into something fierce. 2 weeks post the border probe, my postbox turned into Sharon's battleground. First, a township gripe alleging my spot breached updated housing codes. Absurd since farm zoning doesn't evaporate with. Rallying a local drive on hazards from my garage, my decades in wiring somehow rendering me a threat. The drive labeled my wind batteries as explosion risks, my gear as racket pollution. From someone oblivious to dawn drill sites, the capper hit via social media, Sharon blasting in Evergreen Heights forums about the rogue dweller jeopardizing equity, her drive-by shots twisting my tidy space into chaos. 72 strangers I'd never crossed paths with clamoring for action against the blight, the sting of that betrayal seeping into my brew as I scanned the venom. Time for some vintage wiring diagnostics, trace faults to roots. I dove into township archives for a week, absorbing realty statutes more than any ex-sparksman should, unearthing Sharon's skeletons. Her brokerage credentials revealed 3 past slaps for fudging lot lines to buyers. Mia often noted habits betray souls, and Sharon screamed deceit. Plus, from my guild era, I recalled coverage. Plea, Sharon's mate's clinics owed $130,000 in arrears, explaining her cash grabs. Yet her blunder was tangling with a fixer of intractable issues. I rigged pro surveillance across my grounds after spotting fresh tracks by my barriers, infrared, remote save, alerts galore. Those lenses snagged Sharon's ploy quicker than anticipated. 4 days later, her hazard team crept onto my turf, lens peering my garage panes, fiddling locks, the poetry in a self-proclaimed guardian committing felonies on my soil. But that clip sparked my top find, delving into statutes for my deputy report, stumbling on gold that had me chuckling. Sharon's founding papers held a lethal glitch. They'd botched including my tract and descriptions. Lazy legalese skipping true maps, legally. Sharon held zilch sway over my domain. Less than Spark did. The regional rag blew it wide after I fed them Sharon's posts beside my 1988 title, Lone Rancher Battles Association XS front page. The High Plains Gazette, my private spat turning public spectacle. Sharon's retort was priceless, phoning the chief demanding pullback, vowing ad yanks unless rectified. The chief ran her tirade in opinions next to 4 backing notes from weary locals. You could sense the shift, the air electric with change, yet the warmest wind flowed organically. Mrs. Patterson from 4 blocks over knocked. With peanut butter treats and turbine queries, the cozy bake aroma mingling with fall breeze as she vented how Sharon badgered her clan over their herb patch, deeming it visual offense. I've tracked this fiasco, she confided, and we're done with the intimidation. For more locals reached out that week with parallel woes. Sharon's grip extended beyond my fences, preying on nonconformists to her polished dream. The vet with the rig, the educator with untamed blooms, the pensioner who chose taupe rails over ivory. The crunch of welcoming tires on my path became symphony. For the first time post-Mia, my haven felt communal hub over besieged bastion. Sharon aimed to ostracize me, paint me as outcast, instead birthing a hub for the oppressed, gazing from my deck that dusk, seeing spark dart after glow bugs as folks debated green tech and plots. I grasped Mia's faith. Decent souls converge in trials. Sharon aired assuming I'd solo this war. She'd soon learn. With litigation papers, Sharon enlisted Benson Legal Group, pros in conformity suits. The filing accused my spot of blight and peril slashing adjacent equity irreparably. 30 pages of jargon. Seeking turbine dismantle. Garage raise. 40 grand recompense to locals. The scent of premium print blending with my Joe as I parsed Sharon's fabricated narrative, per her counsel. My 40-year homestead morphed menace overnight, but Sharon escalated, launching what she termed vigilance rounds. Her and 4 committee moms with notepads logging breaches, cruising by thrice daily, snapping from post to array, compiling what Sharon called proof dossier. The breaker flipped when she looped the township inspectors, lodging a beef my garage flouted modern codes. Ignoring my 1993 legit builds, Sharon bet red tape could erase what bullying couldn't. Cue my cavalry. My guild pal Travis linked me to veteran civic attorney Victor Kane, who'd ward such fights. For decades, Victor eyed my file and smirked. Bad omen for foes. Ethan, he drawled from his squeaky seat. This is the messiest lawyering in 25 years. They're pushing unprovable nonsense. Victor's initial dig brightened me. All my approvals not just valid but locked by statute. Fresh associations can't backdate rules on old builds. Intel Sharon's pricey suits overlooked. But Victor shone in assault mode. beyond defense. We countered for stalking, slander, deliberate pain infliction. Sharon craved court clash. She'd get it. The pivot sparked when Victor exposed Sharon's doom, sifting founding docs. He found hilarity. The prime builder never deeded shared zones to the association properly. Legally, Sharon's outfit owned debt and stamps alone. Association head nabbed, invading and land feud headlined again, with cam grabs of Sharon spying like a gated gumshoe. Public split favored me. The digital forum blew with sides. Team Ethan rallied the weary of Sharon's tape terror. Team Sharon, mostly fresh coastal imports adoring regs. Township Overseer Reynolds fielded scores of calls on association misuse. Reynolds, 5th-gen Montana native. Recalling our valley as ranchland, zero tolerance for imported strife. I've known Ethan Harlow 2 decades, Reynolds told the press. If Sharon Blackwell thinks she can West Coast our region with baseless suits, she's mistaken. The heat cracked Sharon. Her brokerage patrons probed her woes. Nothing tanks deals like buyers learning the association boss is mired in trials. For more dwellers. Or dismissed them. Derek beamed docs sealing Sharon's farce. Charts, waivers, planner letters affirming my independence from day one. The hum of my printer churning Derek's proof felt festive. 50 sheets of bulletproof fact Sharon bluffed empty-handed all along. Victor lodged the fresh intel for dismissal plus fees for sham suit. Sharon's counsel hushed swift. Round 3 to the tenacious Sparksman with locked-in land. Sharon's panic soared as her attorneys bailed. Benson Legal Group slipped out citing client mismatches, code for deranged demands. Shedding her team turned. Per Sharon's log, I'd ambushed her at market lots spouting rights threats with hostile stance. Vivid tales of fear from my instability. Utter fabrication. I'd avoided Sharon save her drive-bys. Deeming any High Plains Gazette an enabler of equity ruin, hardware boss Carl Jenkins tipped me Sharon demanded he bar my buys or lose association trade. Carl's quip golden, ma'am, Ethan's patron. Elias Thornwood lent free insight post-case read. Even assessor affirmed association's nil tax pull on outsiders. The tale ignited Reddit. HOA excess viral, drawing rights fighters statewide. Like owing big while extorting locals, association panel quiz Sharon's rule in stormy sessions. Member Elena Vasquez quit openly, flagging harsh methods and shady costs. 3 trailed in days. Sharon's answer epic. Urgent assembly on my peril to safety and worth. Agenda floating guards and cams for the rebel lot. 51 attended. Evergreen Heights biggest. I spied from deck as lots filled. Door slams rolling like storm warnings. Mrs. Patterson debriefed with macadamia bites. Ethan, catastrophe, she said, aroma blending with twilight. Sharon raved on values saboteurs and plots. Half-bolted. The forum mod booted Sharon for toxicity and badgering. Her exit rant entitlement fury on thankless folks killing norms, but sweetest from shock. Denver's Channel 9 scribe rang for HOA. Misuse chat in backcountry Montana. My saga linking broader trends they'd tracked. From my deck that eve, spark pursuing lightning bugs as last rays dipped behind peaks. I pondered the flip. 7 months back Sharon loomed unbeatable. Association queen, broker, gated matriarch with endless reign. Now alienated, probed, allies and options dwindling. Me equipped bullies self-destruct with rope, Sharon proving it grandly. The ring that shifted all hid at dawn Tuesday. Judge Elias Thornwood, bench vet from adjacent. Unearthed Sharon's quest not mere error, but likely felony. Ethan. Brace, he intoned. 30 years gravitas. I've plumbed national land logs. Your association mess balloons. The judge revealed Evergreen Heights rose on turf with lingering Shoshone tribe pacts from over 4 years. Funds meant for upkeep. Sharon's firm pocketed 90 grand management sans managing. Levies fueled her lawsuits and mates clinic growth. Panelkin invested in DR. Harlan Blackwell's ops pre-okaying shady deals. Fed regs mandate interest disclosures. Sharon skipped, but killer in founding scrolls. For signs from ex-dwellers predating group, Sharon faked too. Forge her realm. State AGI to kin HOA cons coast to coast. My case pattern piece from Cali to Maine. Thornwood bared Sharon's drive. Her brokerage bled from suits on line lies. Presidency cash cow. Masking debts. Her counsel fled next. Ethical clashes. Code for fraud complicity dodging charges. The panel set crisis meet to oust Sharon post Victor's fake and fiscal drops, rubber stampers feigned. Ignorance, media reframed as gated graft expose over spat, Channel 9 probes swelled to packed breaches and rights abuses packing jail time. My land equity spiked from spotlight on my green oasis. Game evolved, beyond feuds to equity. Dawn post Thornwood's nuke, my garage morphed HQ for ultimate legal heist. Not gems but justice from gated despot, squad assembled cinematic, Thornwood with con. Law mastery and contacts toppling regimes, Laura Mendoza, Channel 9 sleuth, hauled record crates with corruption radar spanning counties, shock Adkai rivers, tribal rep from Shoshone HQ post-pact. News drive. These claims slumbered generations. He laid antique charts on my board. Your association stirred costly beast. Travis boosted my defenses with elite gear from Kinsguard firm. Breaches for Sharon's bias on outliers. Kai Lodge sovereignty suits potentially voiding deeds. If pact breaks in transfer, he noted. Whole enclave dubious. Laura's fiscal dig outdid pyramid schemes. Sharon siphoned 140 grand reserves via shells, bogus bills, illicit loans to her sinking trade. Dues mint upgrades bankrolled Hawaii jaunt. Kids Academy. Mates tax fixes. Fed theft 20 years caged. Faye finds Sharon's phantom pacts with ghosts. Evergreen Landcare 45 grand nil work. Address matching her office. Happenstance. Feds disagree. We marshaled proof. Military style. Chronology of 4-year torment and oversteps. Fiscal autopsy on community ripoff. Clips of invasion and sabotage bids. I rigged encrypted comms per Travis Kin's tip. Donors nationwide battling association despots. Diner meets turned plots against oppression years. Bacon and Joe sent with revolt murmurs. Mrs. Patterson shuttled to overseer huddles demanding. Probes. My association accountability guide viral post Laura's series. 3 steps any owner. Audit demands. Authority proof. Log torment for cops. Sites for complaint digs crashed from hits. Thornwood glee on Sharon vet. Elder. Misfit targeting. Not mere theft. He grinned stern. Fed by his crimes. In my garage that eve pre-strike, ringed by Sharon crimes proof and vindication gear. Mia's spirit vivid. She championed right fights versus might. Tomorrow Sharon learns neighbor theft and fakes reap unimagined tolls. Predator turns prey. Sharon's realm crumbled. Desperation breeds. Folly. Post-panel her opener PI for my secrets. As if lone mourner was dirt-worthy. Her hire amateur as tactics. My defenses nabbed him thrice in days. Window snaps. Mail rummage. Travis cams clear. Plates. Faces. Felonies prosecutor bait. Ma'am. Fed mail crime. Detective Ruiz clarified as Sharon spun legit probe. Her PI felony bound. Sharon accessory tied. But peak when she bribed inspector. Gomez to doom my turbines. Laura's hidden lens caught 5 grand cash for violations mandating rip-out. Gomez reported our post. Sharon added official corruption to Fed rap. Her next theatrical. Patterson countered that PM, 47 with right signs, stop tyranny. Flipping Sharon's showed a PR flop. News dual covered. Sharon fringe zealot leading compliance cult. Her last thrust ethics. Beef on Victor to bar. Frivolous gain chase. Collusion claims. Process abuse politics. Bar tossed in 2 days as revenge. Probing Sharon's false file pattern. Court abuse felony potential. I held high via Mia taught patience from treatments. When docs doom, she'd say Ethan, win by staying true. I logged every crime sans rage. No clashes, no vents, no vendettas, evidence, and law pure. An X-panel, bribery query that official misheard safety donate. Sharon stuttered, lights beating sweat. I offered no personal for acts. Tape of her bills to Gomez looped online. Sharon fibs. National trend, 3 days. My fund boomed to 160 grand from vets. Ranchers, HOA warriors, her creds revoked permanent post-bribe, for panel quit versus Fed probe, insurers yanked evergreen. Cover for leader crimes, sweetest allies flee, Dr. Harlan divorced citing fraud splits, learned Sharon faked his signs on packs, unwitting Fed accomplice, his DA coup sealed conspiracy. Sharon's assaults morphed me from lone griever to rights movement core, tomorrow her end phase, pity almost. Sharon's ultimate dare crossed unthinkable bounds. Post-bribe flop, she hit my sanity. Opener psych commit bid on erratic peril acts. Petition to mental board claiming paranoia gov plots. Arms hoard for clashes. Affidavits from strangers on night prowls. Hostile meets. Lies triggering hold if judge skipped proof. Court psych Dr. Elena Voss 3-hour eval and claim review. Mr. Harlow. She ruled. Stable and tough amid torment. Ms. Blackwell weaponizes health for grudge. Second eco strike. Bogus EPA beef on turbine hazards. Septic taint. Inspector expected mess. Found county green pinnacle. System over spec. Septic fresh. Water purer than city, sir. Attorney Nina Cortez laughed out. Ms. Blackwell. Associations nil seize power. Mr. Harlow's spot anti-blight. Use exemplar. Sharon's Hail Mary swayed Deputy Ellis I extremist arms threat via rights. Talk. Militia ties. Sheriff Vance personal review obvious. Ma'am. Mr. Harlow upright fighting fair. False terror logs fed felony. Then Sharon imploded true. Psych report flagged her paranoia. Delusions on bounds authority. EPA beef false report complaint. Attorney probed process abuse. Victor built finale proof 800 pages violations crimes fraud 4 years. Cam montage harassment. Invasion. Fiscal 320 grand embezzle. Kai Rivers packed proof nuke option. Pact breaks void deeds. Support ironclad. Shops we back Ethan signs. Faith's justice praise. Vets honor con rights. Defense versus home tyranny. Schools green workshops. My spot education over soar. Panel unanimous oust Sharon Ban meets. Her neighbors turned post dues funded her suits. Bank seized her home liens fraud. Fallout. Irony divine. Property thief lost hers to crimes. Sweetest mate divorce revealed fakes his signs. Accomplice unwitting. Prosecutor coup conspiracy seal. Laura Series award regional expose. Graft abuse. Template rights fighters. 12 states leges prevent overreach. From garage Eve pre-court. Ringed Sharon criminality proof vindication tools. Certainty post Mia first. Justice win. Tomorrow Judge Donovan end Sharon terror eternal. Printer overtime finals with fall gusts through turbines. She aimed destroy. Wrong mark for finale. The courthouse entry thrummed with buzz like. Premier trial dawn. Overflow didn't cover it. Scribes, rights crusaders, locals, gawkers jammed every nook in Judge Donovan's chamber. Aged varnish scent with tense vibe and metallic justice tang. Imminent. Sharon 40 minutes tardy with 5th counsel months. Aged 20 years since start. Chic garb masking shakes. Vacant gaze. Frantic aura of empire dust real time. I poised with squad. Hefty proof stacks tabled like righteous ammo. Judge Donovan. 30-year no-frills vet on sham suits. Scanned throng with seen it all mean. Sharon's green lawyer. Fresh grad short-strawed. Rose quivering to pitch. Honor. Client seeks valid association rule on defiant lot-harming norms. Couldn't muster docs proving sway over my turf. Donovan demanded authority proof. Kid paper shuffled. Chaotic. Russell filling hush as Sharon flushed deeper. Counselor. Donovan boomed. Evidence Mr. Harlow's lot under association? Well, honor we think that is our view the spot seems that's nay. Judge ruled. Victor Rose biblical. Delivery precise lethal. 1988 title explicit exclude future associations. Maps 33-year precedents. Cam montage 4-year torment invasion. Raised her stance. Donovan patience broke. Sharon testimony interrupt. This values he's ruining our haven with eco blot. Ma'am. Judge snapped. Silence or exit. Bribery fakes false reports evidence. Plot. Sharon's counsel objected futile. Donovan rolled. Rule Evergreen Heights HOA nil standing versus Mr. Harlow. Plus crimes surfaced order dissolve pending Fed probe. Room cheered supporters as Sharon. Wailed appeals values ruin. Bailiff hauled her ranting eco-commie laws. Donovan continued. Award Mr. Harlow 140 grand fees damages malicious. Fraud torment refer Fed's prosecution. Wildlife haven. Fake falls now bird ed for schools. Voluntary months outdid mandatory years. Sharon's hubris fate mythic. Jail split auction industry bar. Retail elsewhere alias. Tyrant caution. But true wind shift. Grief fort to respect community heart. Mrs. Patterson treat walks. Travis free defenses. Laura book bids graft. Sounds now Mia dreamed. Kids learn neighbors garden pals fire pit. Demos rural green base real bonds. This weekend Cali vet advice versus association dog bias. Next month, tribal kin halt sacred plot race. Rights were endless, but so fighters for right. And now, after all this whirlwind of injustice turned to triumph, I have to ask you, where do we draw the line between community standards and personal freedom? Is it ever right to fight fire with fire when bullies come knocking? Or does true justice demand we always stay above the fray, even when it costs us everything we hold dear? Drop your thoughts below, share your own battles with overreaching authorities, and let's debate what real fairness looks like in a world full of Sharons.